Yeah, hello everyone. So Robin is asking here in the forums if it's possible to stop an automation blocks script from running in the middle of the code somewhere. So like if some condition is met, please stop my execution here. And there is nothing like a stop executing at this point block, but there is actually a nice workaround. And let me say, let's say here we've got a very basic sample script. It just alerts three messages, first block, second block, third block. If we run it, it just outputs these three messages. And now let's say under certain conditions we want to stop execution after the first or after the second block. Just a very basic example. What you need to do is to wrap your entire script in a function. So you have here this functions category, and here you can take this one to define a new function. This one defines a new function without returning any value, and this here is a new function that can also have a return value. You don't need to understand the details of this, just understand you take your entire script and put it inside of here, and here you can give this function a name like my sample script. You can give it the same name as your tool itself, for example. And now what you have once you did this here in functions, you find a block with my sample script. Yeah, if you just rename this here, let's just call it my script, you can see this block is also changes. And what this helps you is if you need to execute this here several times, we can now, for example, duplicate this here. Now my main script consists of executing all of this here twice. Yeah, if I run this, you can see it says first block, second block, third block, and now first block, second block, third block again, because it first executes this here and says, okay, let's go through everything I've defined here, and then a second time it executes all of this. What has this to do with stopping a script? Well, for functions we've got this great if whatever condition return thing. Yeah, so if you want to always exit after the first block, you could put here something like if checkmark or true. So if true, this means always, yeah, always return here. If you run the script now, you can see it says first block and then again first block, and this is all that is happening, because when this block is executed, it goes to the first block, and now it says, oh yes, this condition is true, so we return at this point, we don't continue. And here then it's doing the same again. And here you can now also, if you want, insert more complex conditions. So here Robin said, I want to only stop if a certain variable is okay. Yeah, so you could do here something like prompt for let's call this here my variable. I'd make a new variable and store here this message, please enter OK, with default value OK. And now we could put here the condition logic if my variable equals OK. And now you can see we run the tool and it says please enter OK, and we do this, and now it executes the first block, and since we entered OK here, it has quit after the first message. It didn't execute the second and the third, and now we write here not OK, for example, and now during the second execution it says first block, second block, third block. So you can see during the first execution it just executed here the first block, and during the second execution it executed first block, second block, and third block, because the first time we entered OK and the second time we entered something else. So this is where you stop your code somewhere in the middle, put your entire code inside of such a function, and then use this if return block to stop if certain conditions are met. And one last remark, if you do this, if you wrap your code into such a function, make sure to don't forget this here. Yeah, I've put this block here twice because I wanted to execute this twice. If you want to just execute it once, just keep one block here. Now this code is executing exactly one time, but you should not forget this one, because if you get rid of this one too and you run the script, nothing happens, yeah, because it's just defining this function, but it's not using it. So if you create such a function, go here to functions, find your function here, and put such a block somewhere here, because only this block will execute this. Without such a block, this is not executing at all. This is just one little stumbling block you need to keep in mind here.